Jim, at the end there, when you called the timeouts, was you just give up 2 yards because you want to have the ball back and a chance to kick off?
Yeah, we were just trying to see if we could get the ball back. We knew they were trying to run the clock. If I let them, they would have run the clock down and kicked it with no time left, and we wouldn't have had at least a shot to try to get the ball back and try to run something. So.
The drive previous to that, there was opportunity maybe to get a little more clock.
We were trying to score. We were trying to score a touchdown. We didn't want to score. We were trying to kick a field goal. We were trying to score a touchdown. So, hoping we could get to a situation where we made it a 4-point game, not a 3-point game.
What's wrong with the pass defense today relative to last week? When
Couldn't get them off the field. You know, we got to do a better job generating pass rush, and went up against an outstanding quarterback and good pass catch combination with him and Gates, and didn't seem like we handled that matchup very well.
How much do you think being on the field so much affected your defense late in the game there?
I don't know.
On Deshaun's penalty
carries that week after 31, were they selling out to stop the run?
I don't think they were selling out, but I think there were some favorable matchups for us that we felt we could exploit, in the secondary, and I think we did. I thought McGuire had a really good game throwing the football, and obviously picked up some big yardage that way. So, we've said all along that it doesn't matter how we score as long as we score, but I still think we left too many opportunities offensively out there too. We weren't real sharp in the first half. Had a penalty, had a touchdown call back, dropped one late. I think the field goal. So there's a lot of things we could have done offensively better to score enough points to win this game.
On Deshaun's penalty, what were you told happened, or what did you see happen?
The official told me that it was a late hit, and I did not see it, so I can't really comment anything else besides it. He said it was late.
You mentioned the pass rush. Was that a bigger concern to you than the coverage?
Nah, it's a combination of both. I think you got to try to make him uncomfortable, and I think at times he had too much time to. When you get a quarterback that's as talented as Phillip, that's going to hurt you.
What was Vic's injury when he came off for a play? How was he now?
He said he was fine, so he went right back in. They didn't tell me what it was. They said he was out for. The referee said he was out for play, and then our trainers cleared him, so I didn't ask. But they said he was going right back in, so I didn't get anything specific on that.
Brett came off on that play too. Is he okay? Brett came off on that scene.
Yeah, Brett went back in the next play
okay
too. So we'll get I'll get a update from our trainers on where they are, but I know both Brent and Mike went back in on the next play. So
they were both very animated too. I think that was a 2-minute warning. You had a big huddle there on the sideline, and both Vic and Selleck seemed to be not arguing, but making some sort of a point to you. Do you remember what that was about?
No.
Chip, the officials, when they say that Vic is done for that play, what's the explanation behind it? He has to come off the field.
It's an injured player, so it doesn't matter who it is. If it was the left guard or the center or whatever, they have to go out for a play because the ref determined that they were injured. So.
In the first quarter, the pass to James Casey on the goal line, why did you challenge that?
Our guys upstairs, so they didn't catch it.
You had a number of shots at Jackson today before you finally were able to connect with him. Are those, look at those, you think those are plays that we've got to have a higher percentage if you're going to win a game like this one?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, we left points out there offensively, and you can't do that against a good team. So there's a when you play against a good quarterback, you got to be as sharp as you can. And I think offensively, obviously, had a touchdown call back, had a drop, missed a field goal. Those are all you can come down to. In a game like this that's decided on the field goal at the end of the game, you can nitpick and take a look at every play. But to me, it's not nitpicking. But one play is the difference in a game, and we've talked about it all the time. You don't know when that play is going to impact the game, and we've got to understand how important it is to make plays when we get an opportunity to make them. So.
When Mike comes off, Chip, for a play, do you have the option of calling timeout and keeping him in the game?
No.
With what happened with the defense today, are these correctable mistakes? Is this a signal of a longer problem? Or is this just something you can correct, with some practice?
Well, I hope so. His feeling doesn't feel real good, does it? So we better make sure we can correct this thing. We got a game in 4 days, so we come back out here. We're going to face another team that likes to throw the football, and we're going to be ready to play.
You guys went with three safeties a lot, especially in the second half. Is that just because of the numbers?
Just because of the numbers at corner, we were down, and hopefully if we get Fletch back, that'll help us a little bit over there. So, but that was just, who was available at that point in time.
That's a position that across the league is hard to find starting caliber safeties. Do you guys have to look at your personnel and maybe go elsewhere to find some help with that position?
Right now, there ain't any safeties on the street, I can tell you that. So we're going to play with the ones we got.
You opted to use
Chung in the slot a lot. I don't think Poyer played any defensive snaps that I saw. Did the Washington game kind of just make you feel he might not be quite ready yet, or?
Yeah, it depends on the matchup, and I think when Royal's in the slot, there's some speed things there that you're going to try to get matched up, maybe try to get a faster guy in there. So, that was kind of some of the thought process that went into that.
What were the issues on third down specifically on defense?
We didn't generate a good enough pass rush or cover well enough.
At this point, are tight ends a tough matchup for this defense?
If he's as talented as that one, that was a tough matchup for us. So, yeah, is Antonio Gates a tough matchup? The answer is yes.
Chip, you talked about the defense, being a work in progress going into the season. You and Bill still each week here kind of go over things and how to best use the guys in the system that they can play best?
Yeah, but it's not. That's what we always do. That's what we do as a staff all the time in terms of how we can put our players in position to make plays. And but it's not just a defensive thing. We left points out there offensively too, and got to do a better job of that. We also missed field goals, so I think our offense and our special teams contributed to the loss just as well as our defense did.
What's your big picture view of this game and where your team is after 2 weeks?
It's right where we are, 1-1. Played well enough to win one week and not well enough to win this week. So we got to get back to work tomorrow morning.
You said you have to play with these safeties. How do you?
No, I guess just an answer to the question. You're not going to find anybody at this point in time that's hanging out in the street corner that's going to be able to play safety for you. Everybody's allotted to their teams either through a draft or free agency, but I don't think there's any free agent safeties that are standing on the streets that are unemployed right now. That was my point.
That said, what can you do? How do you play?
We got to coach them better, and we got to put them in positions to make plays, and we got to make sure that we put a game plan together so that they understand it. Simple deal.
What's your thinking between rotating the two guys in and out, and Nate and Earl back and forth during the game?
Just trying to get both those guys work. I think they're close. Trying to get Earl involved. I think Earl shows us things when you watch him play where we think he's got a bright future. So, but I don't think he's totally grasped everything that we're asking him to do. So, try to put him in positions when we put him in the game that we're trying to play to his strengths.
Those deep balls to Deshaun, do you see those as something that you guys can get like every game, or is it just based on?
No, it's all based upon matchups and who you're playing and how that works, and how different teams decide to deploy you and decide to defend you. So it was just something that we felt in this game plan we had. I don't know if it's going to come up again. We'll see how other people decide how they're going to defend him.